Welcome back to episode 8 of my Vanilla Plus Modded Forever World series, where today I'm going to be doing things a little bit different. So, on the agenda, I am actually going to be completely refurbishing the whole area around the base, so touching up the walls, the floor, kind of just this whole area, kind of make the base like kind of fit more well into the world, and also just kind of make it feel like a little more alive and like less cluttered. And so I actually did go ahead and make a duplicate world where I just tested some things out, and I did find kind of a style that I like. So I'm going to kind of be replicating that here. I'm still going to be using survival completely, so I'll be getting all the resources in survival mode. I'll just be using that kind of like as like a model or like basis to kind of shape this too. So it's kind of just going to be a very material gathering heavy first part of the episode, and then just kind of touching things up. I'm not really sure how long it's going to take me since I did do that in creative mode. This will be a little bit longer. So for now, I'm going to get some just material gathering out of the way, and then we'll reconvene there. This is actually kind of a two birds with one stone scenario because I was planning on kind of terraforming this level or kind of down to where this level was anyway, is kind of flattening down this whole terrain. So this actually works kind of well for me right now. All right, that wasn't too bad. I spent about 15 minutes gathering these materials. This should get us a pretty decent start. So I think I'm going to start by tackling kind of just the immediate outline of the house and then move on from there. That is not a bad start. However, that is just the beginning. We still have a lot of work to do and a long ways to go. So I'm going to move on to the next part of this kind of um, cleaning and fixing up phase, and that's going to be this part right here. It just looks a little too muddled. I definitely want to kind of work on it, make it kind of push back and just feel a little bit more natural and like blend into this side of the wall here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up this. Okay, that looks a little better. Now, this does look weird with this kind of big chunk missing, and I promise there is a reason for that. I'm not going to get to it quite yet, so it will look like this a little longer, just bear with me. I'm going to move on as I continue to kind of clean up this area, and then we will come back to this space by the end of the episode, I do promise. The next thing I would like to work on is kind of pushing this back and then cleaning it up a little bit, and will be replacing the blocks here. I'm gonna probably be doing just a little stone pathway, and I do have, like I said, I did have kind of like a pre-built model for this that I did make in my creative world, so I'm kind of just following that. So it will look pretty much the same. So I do promise I do have a vision for this, and I do know where this is going, and I am very happy with it, and I do think this will look great once the finished product kind of comes together. I was having a hard time deciding whether or not I wanted to use a creative world because, part of the fact that it's survivable is kind of that, like, you go through it, like, and do everything kind of not without a plan, but for the first time. And so I was, like, kind of having a confliction of would using a creative world to kind of build ahead of time and then go back and do that in this series or this world be like not cheating because I set the rules, but would it be like authentic? And I decided I think yes, just because if I went ahead and just never planned anything out and just went for it, I would spend a lot more time placing down blocks and then tearing them down again. It would just make my videos a lot longer, make the recording time a lot longer, and just kind of be like a negative experience for me. It would feel more like a chore, I feel like. Um, I was kind of unsure what I wanted to do next with my world after completing this base. So I was like, what if I just hop in a creative world and kind of like look around the area and just see like what where like kind of have like a different perspective like where I'd want to build things, and also just testing out those like builds. And that's how I kind of started with. Oops, I don't want to do that with. Kind of terraforming this in that world because I wanted to see what would it look like if I went with this kind of thing, and I just kept going, and it eventually just stuck. And then I decided I wanted to go with the design that I made it over there and bring it in here. And I don't think I'll be doing it with every single build, right? I want to keep some of it just, or at least most of it, just whatever happens, I do as I go. But I think for certain projects, I think planning it ahead of time and just testing it out is super beneficial for me, just so I can grow more as a builder. And a YouTuber, so I can kind of have more of a structure or plan. With my uh, previous episodes, I had an idea if I wanted to accomplish that episode, but I didn't really have like a okay. Here's I'm gonna do this, this, and this. So it's kind of just goes as I go, or I went as I go. I got how do I say that? I would just go with the flow and kind of just do things as I went. But I think with this, it kind of feels nice because I have an idea of what I want to do, and I feel like it gives me more confidence in how I am uh, progressing through this episode of working on certain areas at a time because I know what this is all going to look like, or at least what it should look like by the time I'm done, and I think that gives me some confidence. So let me know if you do have any like opinions on if you do like the fact that I kind of pre-plan things out, or if you would rather me just kind of go with the flow. Because I'm happy either way. I'd want to do what you guys want to see. So if you guys don't like that I did do a certain thing or don't do a certain thing, please let me know it because I want to change and make my videos enjoyable for you. Not bad. So now we need to. That's looking better. That's looking a lot better. Ow. That's not quite right. Okay, I need to get some food. This I'm calling it. I'm playing it too dangerous. I'm gonna move on from this and come back to it later. I'm gonna just rest on it a little bit and get some work done elsewhere. Yeah. All right, so this is done. I've pretty much finished this little archway and roof up here, or sorry, like ceiling of the cave. Now I think because it is nighttime, it is past overdue that I kind of clean up the lighting situation. The torch is just way too ugly, so I'm gonna replace some of these and just do some reworking with the lighting to make us feel a little homier. That's looking much better. Now I think it's time to add what I was talking about at the beginning of the episode and just fill this little blank hole that's right here. Now that just about wraps up today's episode. As you can see, I have completed kind of reworking this whole little area. It's pretty much what it looks like in the creative world that I did. Few modifications and differences, but overall it's kind of the same look. I am very happy with how this turned out. I actually think this might look better than the creative one or the test build I did. As you can see, I added a little horse stable here. I feel like this is just a perfect little touch to add on to this part of the base. This was kind of just a little barren, having this wall here. We added in a nice little waterfall. Just kind of completely redid the floor or ground as well as this kind of cave here. Added in some stone texturing slabs, moss. Just kind of reworked the whole area, and I think it came out wonderfully. I haven't really touched anything out here yet. I did a little bit of the walls here and here, but nothing too grandiose. I haven't really expanded past that yet. But I am very happy with how this is looking. I think it looks so much better. I'm actually really excited to see what it looks like in the day. It's really pretty at night. I love the little firefly bushes. But real quick, I just want to see what it might look like during the daytime. Yeah, that looks great. I'm really happy with how this is looking. I think it's looking pretty nice. May need to rework the lanterns on the inside again, just because from this angle you can see just all of them inside, and I think that's not great. I kind of want to go for like an effect where you can see the lighting coming through the windows, but not the actual light sources. So I'm gonna have to rework that as well. But I do want to keep the ones here, down there, right up there, and then down there. I think that looks great for lighting up this whole area outside. But I think this is looking pretty good. Next episode, I might go back to the food problem. As you can see, I am very hungry and I just have nothing in my mess of an inventory. But that is a problem for episode 9, Jolin. For now, this is where I'm going to leave y'all. It might be a little bit of a shorter episode just because I was focused on kind of reworking this, but I promise I'll have the next one out as soon as I can. As always, if you did like the video, please make sure to give me a comment as well as a like, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you have been here since day one, please make sure to let me know so I know who to look out for in the comments. And if you have any suggestions or criticisms, please let me know as well. I hope you see you in the next one, and have a good one.